Hi friends, it is time to put back the greenhouse plastic. Sure, I bought this hoop house in the middle of November and I put it up, I think it was November 15th. It is now November 9th and I want to put the greenhouse back up and put some seeds into the ground. But before that, we have to clean up a little bit. This greenhouse is about 11 foot long and about 10.5 feet wide. If you want to purchase one of these, I'm going to link it in the description below. I got it from Amazon.com and I got the white plastic. I didn't like the green plastic look, but you can get whichever one you like. I'll link both in the description below. And they're only like 130 bucks. At least it was 130 bucks last year, so maybe with inflation it's a little bit more. In this greenhouse, I grew some sweet potatoes in here, and I have chili peppers and turnip greens that self-seeded themselves from last year's crop. I am also growing a feijoa, a hardy guava tree in here, and 2 yuzus that are supposed to survive down to about 10 to 15 degrees Fahrenheit. And the feijoa should grow here no problem. The reason I'm putting them inside the greenhouse is because it creates a lot more heat and that should get them going. And even if we have really cold nights, the plastic prevents the hard frost from getting into the plants. So this is a trial and I hope that it works, and if it does, then this little greenhouse will become an unheated greenhouse for growing and pushing the boundary and the zones for a lot of exotic fruits like the yuzu, the guava, some hardy bananas that I'm thinking about getting, and maybe ginger and turmeric. Here's the baby feijoa. My buddy from It Is Just Gardening gave me this one in the spring and I put it in here and it has grown probably 10 inches. He gave it to me like right here and it has grown 10 inches. In here I have the yuzu lemons. I started these from seed. They didn't grow a whole lot because they got shaded by the other plants that were growing in here. But now that I'm cleaning it up, hopefully they will be just fine. I also grew a ton of cayenne peppers in here. I need to harvest these very soon. And you can see here, I had to clean the bottom of these turnip greens because they have a lot of mildew. And that's really weird, so I cut it all down. I will spray this with neem oil to get rid of the mildew, hopefully, and maybe a little bit of milk water, and hopefully that should fix the issue. And these will re-sprout and start producing again very soon. I also grew sweet potatoes in here. I haven't dug these out, but check it out. I think this one's gonna be a good harvest here because I planted them really early on and they had a lot of time to grow. So I should get another 5 pounds of sweet potatoes out of here. I am also going to try to overwinter this sweet potato vine. This sweet potato vine has not been hit by the frost, but everything else around it got hit by the frost. So I think because this was off the ground, it did not get frost. So I'm going to harvest all this vine today and put it inside and hopefully overwinter it and plant it again next spring. Putting up the plastic should be simple if I can figure out where the entrance is. I folded this with my wife and she's not here to help. So I'm gonna try to do it on my own. I'm not gonna lie, it already feels like 85 degrees in here and the temperature outside is only 55. So I wanna say using this greenhouse plastic on a sunny day, you get a 30-degree difference. Now at nighttime, it does get cold in here, but the plastic protects the really hard frost from hitting the leaves. So you can actually grow quite a bit of vegetables in here during the winter time. Even though it might get up to 85 degrees inside here during the daytime, if it is cold enough outside, it will drop to whatever temperature it is outside during the nighttime. So if it gets down to 35 degrees outside, this greenhouse will get down to 35 degrees. There are a few things that you can do in order to provide a little bit of heat, a little bit of radiant heat during the nighttime for the greenhouse, like putting a rain barrel, filling it up with water and painting it black so that it radiates heat at night. You can also put cement pavers down and you can build a compost pile inside of here so that radiates a little bit of heat as well. So I'm planning to do several of those things in this greenhouse so that I can grow even more food Last November when I planted into this greenhouse, I planted everything from seed, and it was the middle of November and I still got a crop all through the winter just because of this little plastic hoop house, and it was only like 150 bucks. So if you are willing to invest in one of these greenhouses, you can grow a lot of vegetables inside of these unheated greenhouses. So I recommend growing a lot of mustard greens, collard greens, kale, cabbages, arugula, spinach. You can grow all of those vegetables and you can avoid trips to the grocery store this winter. I had to get out of the greenhouse because it's too hot in there. So that's one of the issues that you have with these greenhouses too, is that the heat builds up quite fast. Let me show you how spacious it is inside, even though it's just a little hobbyist greenhouse. So inside this greenhouse, I have built 3 raised beds, and each of these can grow plenty of salad greens and carrots, believe it or not. So I also have this little area right here that I use as my sitting area, and I put a chair, a table. Hopefully this winter I will build a compost pile on that end so I can create some radiant heat. And I think I'm gonna put in a rain barrel in here and fill it up with water. That way I get a little extra heat in here. This little greenhouse is my little heaven here during the winter time. Last year we had a snowstorm, and after the snowstorm it was nice and sunny, and I came inside this greenhouse and I recorded the temperature and it was 85 degrees and there was snow around us, and it was so warm and so nice to get into this little greenhouse. I'm also hoping to overwinter some of my hardier potted plants in here. So I'm hoping to put in a few things into this greenhouse. Things like my Meyer lemon, I'm hoping that I can put it in here, and my lime, I'm hoping to put it in here as well. And hopefully with the heat that this produces, the Meyer lemon can survive in here, and hopefully I can get some lemons out of this little greenhouse. To secure the greenhouse, you have these little tabs, and you just put these tabs on here. They're like Velcro, and you secure them like this. I have secured the greenhouse to the ground with some stakes. I also use a rope and I put it across the greenhouse, and I tie it down to some really nice wooden post and a tree so that it doesn't fly in the wind. I don't think it would ever fly because it's in a corner and it's surrounded by a lot of fences, but I want to make sure that this thing doesn't fly into the neighbor's yard. The greenhouse is now secure on 3 points. We have this rope here. It comes over, it goes onto this tree here, it goes over, and then it's secured on the line over there. So now it is pretty nice and safe, and it will not blow away, no matter how windy it gets. I had forgotten how much I enjoy being inside this greenhouse. Even though it is plastic and it's not super pretty, it is nice to be in it because it's nice and hot in here, and it feels like summer 2.0. I have future plans to build a greenhouse made out of recycled windows, and I have collected a bunch of windows already for it. Now this winter I am observing the sun movement and how it tracks in my yard, and I want to give that greenhouse the most sunny location in my yard for the winter months. So right now I'm just observing it. I am planning, I'm scheming. Hopefully next spring I will build the greenhouse. I will be experimenting with that greenhouse, and I want to plant a lot of hardy citrus and a lot of different fruits that are definitely pushing the boundary of Zone 7A. Once you put one of these greenhouses up, and if you can give it some thermal mass to hold in the heat, this can be like a Zone 8 or a Zone 9. And if you provide a little bit of heat at night from a heater or something like that, you can certainly grow oranges and lemons and things of that nature. So I'm very interested in doing that. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you want to get updates on how I plan to retain some heat in that greenhouse, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and that you like this video. See you on the next one.